doing something specifically on her. So, and I know you're probably going more team point type.
I'll just grab your answers.
All right. Grace, I guess first of all, great first weekend for the team. How important was that to get off to such a great start?
Yeah, I think we did a good job getting off hot on the weekend. We had 3 really good teams to battle against this weekend. The first team being, who did we play first? Bowling Green. Oh, of course. Coming from the MAC, I knew that they were a difficult team. They had a lot of good returners coming back. Their right side has been on fire the past 4 years playing against them. And then they have 2 new girls in the middle that really helped them out. Second team being Loyola Chicago. They're a bunch of little shorter girls, kind of closer to my height, but they jump out of the gym. They're very competitive, and they wanted to beat a team like us. And then going into Tennessee on Saturday, we knew that we would have a battle against us, especially after beating them last year. Even though I wasn't here last year, I knew that they definitely had a dogfight in Holloway. So I think it was important for us to come out hot against Tennessee and just know that they were going to be coming for us and then staying hot throughout the game.
I think you always kind of believed you could play at this level, but how big was that Tennessee match to maybe prove to others I can play at this level?
Yeah, I mean, coming from a smaller school at NIU, I always dreamed of playing even just against teams like Tennessee or even just Purdue. We played Wisconsin last year, and that was pretty huge for us to get that out there. But being able to play against Purdue, being able to play against Tennessee at Purdue, that was definitely like a huge step for me, and it felt great.
I want to take you to like 8 or 9 years ago, and I think you told me your dream was to play volleyball at Indiana University. So how did you end up, Illinois, ended up being a Purdue Boilermaker?
I grew up here in Lafayette. My dad and I always caught Purdue volleyball games, Purdue basketball games. I remember knowing the school song, for as long as I can remember. And of course, Dave Shondell has been here basically my whole life. So growing up and knowing that he knew who I was, it's definitely beneficial. Not getting recruited here my first year, was critical for me. It definitely helped me build my character being at NIU, and then knowing that my 5th year I could come here for a COVID year, it was definitely helpful for me. Just having those 4 years building at NIU and then bringing what I can to Purdue.
I was going to ask how much confidence you built because you were able to go there and play a lot and, set records and things like that and be in the all-time top 5 in assists and such. So getting that 4 years and then coming into here knowing that, basically you're a veteran, you're just on a new team.
Yeah. I think my coaching staff at NIU definitely helped me build that confidence. I had a great head coach, great assistant coaches while I was there. I had a lot of great teammates that believed in me, and I think that confidence came from them, and I know my teammates here that believe in me has definitely helped my confidence this weekend too.
It's pretty special. Not that Northern Illinois is far away, but you're this close, and McCutcheon players and so forth and so on, people who saw you play in high school can come and watch you play now.
Yeah, it's huge. Being a local, just knowing the girls around here. I have old teachers that are watching me. Of course, past teammates that are watching me. So it's definitely helpful getting that recognition from them and just knowing that I have the support from the community around me.
How important is it to be paired up again with Emily? Obviously both went your different paths after high school, and then you end up being teammates again.
Yeah, Emily and I were super close in high school, despite the 2-age difference between us. We were super close in high school. It was me, her, and Brooke Humphrey all the way through high school, and we built that connection. And then having a connection with Eva Torrance as well. I played club with her at Circle City, so that was huge for me coming here and knowing that I had those relationships already built and then building on with the additional girls.
When you came in here as a grad student, you knew I might not play. I'm going to have to battle for a spot. So I guess kind of tell me about just staying ready and waiting for your moment last weekend.
Yeah, I knew that I definitely had a new role to play. I started 4 years at NIU, and I knew that coming into Purdue, I was going to have to accept a new role, maybe not being that starter. So I think I definitely prepared myself, and I stayed patient. So when I knew that my time was coming, I was ready. And, I mean, the first 2 points, I was so nervous when I first got in, but then I kind of felt the confidence building up for my teammates and knowing that they believed in me and them hyping me up. So that was really helpful.
Just you talked about knowing Dave basically as long as you played volleyball probably. What do you remember about coming to camps here and things of that sort that just like, their memories that, you're a child at the time just kind of going through it, but now you look back and think like that really helped shape me into becoming a Division I volleyball player?
Yeah, just knowing Dave and John my whole life has been helpful in my volleyball career. I came to Purdue camps all growing up, and like that definitely sparked my interest in wanting to play college volleyball, as well as having an older sister that played college volleyball at Florida International. But having the confidence from Dave and John, I would come to camps and they would definitely help me so much, and especially Dr. Don helped me a lot with developing setting and attacking while I'm setting. So that was really nice to have that confidence and knowing that they believed in me to come here too.
Do you feel fortunate that you came through the McCutcheon program at a time where, Sarah was taking it over and obviously has built it into a monster that it is now?
Yeah, Sarah's a great coach. She was newer when I was there, but she still had experience. She won a sectional the year before I got there. She has great knowledge on just the basics of volleyball, and she knows how to build up a team and put the right pieces together. And it's just so amazing to watch them what they are now. I mean, I thought we were good when I was there, but they're so much better now, and like development wise too.
And last thing is just going into this weekend now. You want to keep that momentum rolling. I mean, going 3-0 doesn't mean anything if you go out and lose a couple this weekend. So how do you keep the forward progress going?
Yeah, I think we have done a really good job scouting our opponents this past weekend, so I'm definitely looking forward to scouting this weekend. I have experience playing Bradley and UW Milwaukee, so I think that'll help us in our battle against them. I think we're going to have a dogfight with Utah on Friday night, so just being prepared for those matches and knowing what we can do to be beneficial against them. Thank you.
Coach Shondell, and then we'll go into questions. Thanks, Rachel. I appreciate you folks being here today. We returned from Knoxville with 3 really hard-fought wins. It was a wonderful weekend for our relatively new team, and to get the three wins against teams that I think are going to produce a lot of wins over the course of this season is icing on the cake, because I think the RPI index will be good for us based on what I think those 3 teams will do. But we had a lot of people contribute. We have good depth on this team. I'm convinced we're a lot better than some people may have thought we were going to be. And it's just a great group to work with, and I'm looking forward to being back in the gym with them this afternoon as we get ready for a really big weekend on the home boards this week, starting Friday morning with Bradley, and then that night with Utah, and finishing up on Saturday with Milwaukee. So good start, but that weekend's over and it's time to move on.
Dave, how big was it to bounce back against Tennessee after, seeing a little bit of adversity, maybe mixing the lineup up, trying to get a spark and seeing them respond?
Well, I told our players that Tennessee was going to bring their best game against us. They had just lost to Bowling Green the match before, and I knew that they would be angry. And we swept Tennessee here last year, and they had a really talented team. So, and they did. They came out and punched us in the mouth in the first set, and we didn't respond to that very well, and we were down in that second set, I think maybe 12-8, and it wasn't looking very good. But we've got players we can go to change the way things are going, and that was at the point that we brought in Grace Balanciefer, and Grace is a veteran that has a lot of confidence and delivers a great ball, and she performed well, and our players responded to her really well, and that that made a difference. But we just had great players all weekend, a great play all weekend from multiple people.
I'm sure you heard Grace talk about, she came to camps here growing up, local kid, didn't get recruited here out of high school, going to Northern Illinois and having the career she did. What did you think she added now as a grad transfer that's, this is something that can help our program in some way?
Well, I think most important, we have such a young team in experience. Not a lot of starts out of the group that's here. And then she brings in 4 years of starting in college volleyball. And she and Hannah Clayton both were great pickups for us, last spring, to get those level of players with their experience to come in here. And they both play with a lot of confidence. They don't say a whole lot. They just go out and compete and battle and fight. And they do it in the gym every day, whether it's practice or a match. So I think most importantly was her experience. But second of all, she delivers a great ball. She puts the ball right where the hitters want it. Her liability is that she's 5'6.5", 5'7", and but jumps relatively well, and actually blocked 2 or 3 balls in that match against Tennessee, which I think surprised Tennessee more than anybody.
She alluded to the fact that your dad had a big help in her becoming a great setter, and I know that's something that's going to trickle down for years and years to come. Just kind of elaborate on the importance of him, not only you and John and Steve, but obviously there's still kids coming into college program that are using the things that they learned from him, that his legacy is going to carry on for years and years.
Yeah, I mean I hope that will last forever. I hope people will be mentioning his name for years to come. But his impact is how many people he taught how to coach the game or love the game, and that they continue to stay involved in it. And so here we are, after his passing, people still speak highly of him. And one of my dad's favorite things after he retired from Ball State was to come over here and work these camps. And he got worn down a little bit toward the end, but he loved teaching kids how to play the game of volleyball. And with my dad, it didn't matter if you were the best player in the gym or the worst player in the gym. He'd work with you either way. That's just kind of how he was. Yeah.
Dave, it was quite a debut for Eva Hudson this weekend. Talk about her contributions, and obviously you think she's going to be a pretty good player. Did you think she would have that much of an impact starting in match 1?
I was hoping so, but Eva's a baller. There are great players, there are great athletes, there are talented people, and then there are people that get it done every time they step on the floor, and they just compete. And we knew we were getting a great competitor, a player that could do everything on the floor. And she has lots of areas that she will improve on because she works so hard. I compare her fondly to Ariel Turner. And Ariel was the best outside hitter we've ever had at Purdue. And Eva is similar in size, similar in natural talent. Ariel had an unbelievable ability to know what was going on the defensive side of the floor and find openings. Eva will continue to learn that, but Eva really plays hard. And that's the thing that this group needs, is somebody that goes out and just fights all the time. And collectively, we did that. I mean, we had 3 really tough matches for the first weekend for a young, inexperienced team. But we battled, and we fought, and won a lot of close sets. And I think that will be the key to the success of this team, is how many of those close sets and those close matches will we win.
Can you talk a little bit about the procedure of how you got her here from Fort Wayne? She had originally committed to Notre Dame, but when they had the coaching change, she reopened her recruitment. Your relationship with her going back to when you started to recruit her.
Well, her mom played here at Purdue, Stacy Mondino from Ben Davis High School, who I almost coached in high school because I signed a contract with Ben Davis High School back in about 1988. And due to some unforeseen issues, I did not end up there. I ended up in the Muncie school system after being at Daleville for 8 years. But Stacy would have been a sophomore on that team, so I kind of knew her because I'd gone to some open gyms and so forth. But we thought we had a good chance to get Eva when she was being recruited the first time, and I think we were probably runner-up. She went to Fort Wayne Dwenger. Dwenger's got a pretty good pipeline going to Notre Dame, and that was kind of what she thought she wanted to do. And then after a couple of visits there, and then a coach that was released from the job, she had a right then to ask for a release from that letter of intent. And when she did that, I think we were the first program she called to see if we were still interested. The answer was yes, and we were able to land her here. So very, very thankful that we have her because she's a program changer.
Your two Maddies, Cook and Skimmerhorn, both made the all-tournament team. Talk about their play last weekend.
Well, we've been talking about the improvement of Maddie Cook during the offseason and through this preseason practice. She's a different player. Mentally, feels so good about who she is and what she's capable of doing. She's on the right side, where I think she's a little more natural as a player. Has a Caitlin Newton-type arm. Just really pounds the ball. And she's a good blocker. And she gets in people's head with her block. Skimmerhorn is terrific. I mean, she's the ultimate teammate. She's enthusiastic. She's positive. She leads. She's a great athlete. She makes plays. And she's played only 3 sets as a libero since she's been at Purdue. 3 matches. And so she'll just get better and better as this goes. So I thought during the preseason, I told our coaches that I thought she's going to be the best libero we've ever had at Purdue. And she was off to a good start first weekend.
Lastly, this is, I think, the first time since 2019 people will be able to come into Beelan, no masks, and it will go back to pre-pandemic days.
Right.
You have to be looking for, I mean, you've had a great atmosphere there the last couple of years regardless, but it's got to be nice to a little bit more normalcy at home.
I agree, and the coaches won't have to wear masks either, which we've done for the last couple of campaigns. So, no, I really look forward. This is the first year, I think, since I've been here, we haven't hosted the first weekend of the season. And so I'm really excited about getting into Holloway Gym and seeing our students and our community fans and playing 3 matches. And I think our fans will come out big time. It's going to be an exciting week here on the Purdue campus with Penn State coming in for football on Thursday night. And hopefully a lot of those fans will hang around for Friday to watch a couple of matches, and then we'll play Milwaukee on Saturday afternoon. So I think it's a great weekend to be at Purdue. Of the teams that we're playing, Bradley and Milwaukee are mid-major programs that are expected to do well in their leagues. And then Utah out of the Pac-12 has been a team that's finished in the top 5 or 6 traditionally in that league. So we'll have our hands full with them. I compare them to Tennessee. They have a lot of really good athletes. They're big and physical, and they'll play like a Big Ten team. So it'll be a fun week to be here at Purdue. Okay, thank you.